Fallout 4 is about to be 10 years old. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. And to celebrate the anniversary, Bethesda is releasing the anniversary edition of Fallout 4 on the 10th, and we need to talk about it. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what the anniversary edition update is, as well as answer some commonly asked questions I see about it to the best of my ability. I'm also going to talk about Bethesda and if they know or care what their audience wants at this point. And finally, we'll discuss what this means for the Fallout 4 modding community going forward. As always, if you're into Fallout 4 mods and you end up enjoying this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't, and let's go. Okay, so what is Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition? Essentially, it's going to be a re-release of Fallout 4 Game of the Year. That means you get the base game along with all of the official DLC, and you're also going to get a bunch of Creation Club items on top of it. As you can see in this graphic from Bethesda, it says over 150 Creation Club items. Now, a very large portion of these are just going to be power armor paints, weapon skins, Pip-Boy skins, stuff like that. I believe Fallout 4 right now has around 135 Creation Club items, so I'm guessing we're getting around 15 new Creation Club items, and some of them do look pretty cool. They said they're actually reprising the roles for the main characters to do voice acting for some of them, so that should be interesting to see, but they haven't really shown much of anything when it comes to that new stuff. Price-wise, I'm expecting / hoping that this will be no more than $40. However, knowing Bethesda, I wouldn't be surprised if they just made this full price. Just for reference, Skyrim Anniversary Edition had, I believe, over 25 new Creation Club items, and they sold that for $50. So it would make sense that because this has less stuff than Skyrim did, it would be less money. I'm sure there will be an upgrade option for people who already own Fallout 4 as well, just like they did with Skyrim, and I think it's fair to assume / hope that that will be somewhere between $10 and $20, but again, guys, we're dealing with Bethesda in 2025 here, who knows, man. Okay, now let's get into some commonly asked questions that I've seen, and let me preface this by saying, I'm just a guy on the internet. I don't have any insider info. These are just my best educated guesses from being a lifelong Bethesda fan. The first one is, will it be on Xbox Game Pass? I'm going to go ahead and say no. The base game of Fallout 4 is already on there, so you could just get that and do the upgrade. But yeah, I'm going to say no, and I don't think Xbox really likes giving out DLCs on Game Pass like that, so yeah. The next question is, are they going to be actually fixing the game with this? And it sounds like yes from what they've said. It looks like there will be some minor bug fixes, and they did say they're going to fix the stuttering issue that was created by having mods that alter NPC faces and stuff like that. So the answer to that one is yes, even though it's been over a year. Better late than never, I suppose. But we also have to wait and see if they happen to break anything else. Another question I've seen is, will these creations be integrated into the game? Many of you that have used Creation Club know that when you get out of the vault, when you start the game, you just get bombarded with quests that are just automatically starting, and your quest log is immediately filled to the brim. I'm pretty confident that this will be fixed and things will be integrated into the vanilla game. That's what they did with Skyrim. All of the quests and everything are immersively integrated, so you naturally stumble upon them like you would just playing through the game normally. And the next question is, will this fix the bunk-ass Bethesda.net search engine, and will there be more mod storage for console users? In terms of the mod menu, I'd say yes and no. The creation mod menu for Starfield and Skyrim is a little bit better than the one we have in Fallout 4. However, it's still kind of low-key ass. Regarding storage, they did come out and say they're going to be laying the groundwork for additional creation space. So the answer is yes, with a maybe attached to it. I'm going to get to that at the end of the video when we talk about the effects this will have on Fallout 4 modding in general. So is this worth buying or upgrading? Well, I think the answer to that is it's going to be wait and see. We need to see exactly what the price point is, and we also need to see whether these Creation Club items will actually be worth playing. I, for one, am going to be getting this, of course, and I'll be streaming it as well, so if you want to see what exactly the Anniversary Edition is like, be sure to subscribe. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about whether Bethesda knows or cares what their audience wants anymore. I have seen a lot of sentiment from Fallout fans in various comment sections, YouTube videos, various places on the internet, basically saying that Bethesda doesn't give a shit anymore, they don't care what the fans want, they don't even actually know what the fans want, etc, etc. Obviously, a lot of people were hoping for the Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3 remaster, and we didn't get that. And actually, we didn't get any updates about any Fallout games outside of existing ones. This is very much what I expected from Fallout Day, but nonetheless, a lot of fans are upset, pissed off, disappointed, you name it. I don't really agree with the idea that Bethesda doesn't know what we want and doesn't care. They're not stupid. They of course know that we want the traditional Fallout single player experience. And Todd even comes on at the end and basically says, like, hang on guys, we're still working on things. You just have to wait. Here's the reality of the situation. There was nothing new at Fallout Day because they have nothing to show. They simply don't have anything to show us. Bethesda has spent the better part of 10 years dumping a bunch of time, resources, and manpower into Starfield. So because of Starfield's existence, none of their Fallout projects are far enough down the pipeline to where they can even show anything. That's just how it is. And I've said this before, I actually like Starfield, but I would still choose to live in the universe where Starfield never existed and Bethesda just stuck with Elder Scrolls and Fallout forever. But we're not in that universe, and we do have Starfield, and they did pour everything they had into it. So yeah, this is where we're at. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll shadow drop a remaster like they did with Oblivion, but in terms of Fallout 5, yeah, it's going to be well into the 2030s. And at that point, you just gotta hope you live long enough to see Fallout 6. Okay, moving on, let's talk about what this means for the Fallout 4 modding community at large. Of course, we know with this update, paid mods are coming to Fallout 4. We knew this was going to be a thing, everybody knew it was going to happen eventually ever since it happened to Skyrim. Now I know there's a lot of doomsayers out there and people saying this is the end and paid mods are going to ruin the game, everything. I wouldn't really buy into that narrative because if you look at Skyrim, they went through the same exact thing and their modding community kind of just kept on trucking. Now, the Skyrim modding community is about double the size of the Fallout 4 modding community, but Fallout 4 is still the second most modded game behind Skyrim in all of Nexus history, and in general, the modding communities for these games are very, very resilient. If we were able to endure through the last update, which is the next-gen update that broke the game, I think we should be fine. I will say there probably will be some mod authors that leave. I mean, there usually are whenever one of these updates comes out, but in general, I think things are just going to keep moving forward. It'll be business as usual, and maybe if they even fix the game, some mod authors will come back. You never know. Now, regarding paid mods, I think most people don't like the idea of them, and I think people definitely don't like the way Bethesda handles them. I, for one, believe that mod authors should have the opportunity to get paid and a chance to turn a hobby into a career. I think that's one major positive of the whole creations thing. You have teams like King Gath Creations that are probably going to end up becoming their own development studio, and I think that's awesome. However, we as the consumer need to be making smart purchases when we're talking about paid mods. If you see someone selling a texture for a leaf for $3, don't buy it. Now, Bethesda also needs to take some accountability, and they need to fix this shit. They need to have teams of people that are vetting these paid creations thoroughly. We cannot be having people sell texture packs for $10. And even worse, we can't be having people trying to sell stuff that doesn't even work, that's super glitchy. It just can't be allowed to happen, and that's on Bethesda. So hopefully over time they can start to clean this up. I mean, of course people are going to try to make a quick buck online, but it's just bad business for all parties involved. Paid creations, in my opinion, should be reserved for high quality, well-made content. The Watchtower creation in Starfield by the King Gath team is a very good example of this. It's a DLC-sized quest mod that adds a new faction and a bunch of different features, and it's really well done. And it's updated and maintained. Larger mods like that are another major positive of the whole creation system, because now some of the bigger modding teams can take on projects like that and have some guarantee of revenue, which in theory should increase the amount of high-quality DLC-sized content that comes to the game, even if you have to pay for it. Another thing that I want to be very clear on is that free mods are not going anywhere. There are so many modders that are dedicated to keeping their mods free. We've seen that in the Skyrim modding community. I have no reason to believe it'd be any different for Fallout 4. I think things are going to progress very similarly to Skyrim, where most mods are still free, but once in a while they get some good DLC-sized content that you can pay for if you want. Now I'm going to circle back to the additional storage space that I mentioned earlier. Bethesda released a tweet saying that between the 6th and the 10th, you won't be able to download mods because they are laying the groundwork for additional creation space. A lot of people are worried because they said the word creations and not mods. They're the same word in Bethesda's eyes. Creations are mods, paid or unpaid, so you could read this as additional mod storage space. The only caveat with this, and why I said to attach maybe earlier, is because it says laying the groundwork, which is just a really weird way to word it. It almost sounds like they're going to still be working on this and it's not ready for November 10th. I don't know, we'll have to see. If and when the storage space does get increased, I would expect it to be 5 gigabytes like it is on Skyrim. I wouldn't expect the 99 like in Starfield or anything. We are talking about Fallout 4 here, and they probably don't want to give too much space that we can break the game with. Overall, the storage space increase is another major positive of this update for console players. This is going to allow so much more freedom with modless building, and I think it's going to generate a lot more interest in general from people who want to mod on console. Now, what do we need to do in order to prepare for this update? If you're on PC, make sure you turn auto updates off. If you're on console, you probably don't need to worry too much about anything. They did say to disable any mods that change the main menu, because that could somehow screw up the update, so if that does happen to you, you'll probably have to reinstall the game. Once the update does hit, we'll have to see if they broke the game in any other ways. The only other question will be is if the new Creation Club items play well with other mods. And again, that'll just be a wait and see thing. Some things might need patches and stuff like that. So, I think that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you know everything you need to know about the Anniversary Edition update. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you're watching this after the update come out, feel free to laugh at me about anything I was wrong about. As always, shout out to my channel members, I really do appreciate you. And thank you so much for watching. If you're looking for Fallout 4 mods, check out this video right here.